Hey everybody, this is Robo from Vanu Emerald. I wanted to make a separate video for your loadouts and certifications. I was going to include it in my other video, and then I realized that I had so much to say and so much important information that it wouldn't really be fair for me to make that video 20 minutes long with just this. So that video you can watch. I'll have it linked. For basic gameplay and mechanics. This video is dedicated specifically to certifications and loadouts. So we're back in Sanctuary. I've got just my regular pajamas, my regular default loadout, sometimes called pajamas by veteran players. And basically, that's a sword. You have 4 sets of armor in Planetside 1. You have your standard loadout, which is what you spawn in. This is sort of just sort of like your clothes by default. You don't usually use this armor in combat because it doesn't have any real benefit other than it's a little bit faster on foot. You've got the same amount of health, you've got less armor, there's no reason to use this. So when you spawn in, the first thing you're going to want to do is to go and get another loadout. All of mine are several years old and I could probably update them. I have a first loadout that I've designed for this video. And basically, you'll notice that in my loadout, which I've activated, Planetside 1 uses an inventory system. It does not have the sort of the class system that Planetside 2 uses. So instead of having Infiltrator, Medic, Engineer, Light Assault, you just have the armor type that you're in. So right now, I'm in Agile Armor. I have 1 rifle slot, 2 pistol slots, and 9 squares of armor. I don't know the actual size. You can notice all these different like little sizes of squares, but you can hold 9 pistol-sized items in this. Whereas in Reinforced Exosuit, you can see it's much bulkier and actually has 2 rifle-sized slots and 2 pistol-sized slots, in addition to much more space. It's got this entire other row that you can use. So let's take a look at what I actually have in my inventory. First, I have the bank, the body armor nano kit. With this, you can repair infantry armor and also maxes. I've got my medical applicator here, which you can use to, in primary mode, you can use to heal others and also revive them. And additionally, if you right-click to go to the secondary mode, you can heal yourself. Now, I'm not damaged, so it's not letting me do it. And also, this sanctuary is, of course, a no-fire area, so I couldn't do it if I wanted to. The same goes for the bank. You can switch to secondary mode with right-click and repair your own armor if you need to. Now, these, I will get to the certifications later, but these are only accessible with the first tier of engineering and medical certs. Once you unlock them, you're able to use them, but you can't even take them out if you are lacking these certs. So let's look at what else I have. I also am carrying a sweeper shotgun. This is just the basic Planetside 1 shotgun. The new Conglomerate faction also has the jackhammer and the magscat pistol, but the rest of the empires by default only receive the sweeper. It's got 12 shots. It does fair damage at even at mid-range sometimes. Note there are no slugs or anything. It's just a basic shotgun shot with several pellets. And this is available with the medium assault certification. Again, I'll get to certifications in a minute. I can also carry a rocket launcher. This is the Planetside 1 version of the Decimator, which does very heavy damage to maxes and vehicles. Unlike in Planetside 2, however, the Decimator is designed to be disposable. In Planetside 1, you get 3 shots and then you sort of throw away the shell, and it's actually out of your inventory. With the Empire-specific launchers, the Lancer, Phoenix, and Striker, it is ammo-based. You have to have ammo to use it. But the Decimators are completely disposable. I also, of course, have my knife. In Planetside 1, you only have the 1 knife option. This is a special knife. This is my fusion blade, which I get for being a really old member. But you'll notice that I can equip my knife if I need to. So here's my force blade. It's got the secondary mode with the nice little moving thing. It does more damage, whatever. But your knife isn't important. It does the same damage. They're all the same. Whatever. What else do I have in inventory? I've got some ammo. Remember that in Planetside 1, the engineer ammo boxes do not exist. You have to have the ammo in your inventory in order to use it. So I have 32 extra shotgun shells for my sweeper. So I get out my sweeper. All of your weapons obviously come with a full magazine already loaded, so I have my 12-shot magazine plus the 32 in my inventory. Notice that if I drop these boxes out of my inventory, I have 0 ammo I can use. I have still got the 12 that are preloaded, but I don't have any additional ammo. If I were to fire all 12 shots, I could not use the weapon anymore. Also remember, there's no quick knifing. If you actually want to knife someone, you have to put away your weapon and bring out your knife. I'm going to pick up this ammo again. I also have a REC, a remote electronics kit. If you watch the other video, you'll see how useful this is. But in a nutshell, this allows you to do things like hacking enemy terminals, hijacking enemy vehicles, opening doors, accessing lockers, all sorts of different things that you need. Hacking control consoles, that's the big one that you need. So make sure to have one of these in every single loadout. It's very important that you do this. Even if you're max and you can't use them yourself, a friendly may forget theirs. This is the key to Planetside 1. Always have a REC. So you'll also notice that I have armor canister and a health canister. These are the ammunition used by the medical applicator and the bank. Unlike in Planetside 2, there's no heat mechanic, there's no infinite revives, there's no infinite healing or repairing. You have to have the correct ammunition, otherwise you can't use it. A revive actually takes 25 medical juice. And the armor is repaired on a 1 juice to a few hit point basis, so you'll see it gradually tick down. If you are out of juice completely, you can't use either of these items. You can purchase, or not purchase, but you can acquire more from enemy corpses, or from equipment terminals, or from your locker if you have preloaded your locker with good things. I also have a command uplink device, which is the commander's tool in Planetside 1. With the command uplink device, you can reveal friendlies on your map, and you'd think, why would I need to reveal friendlies? It shows you where all of your friendlies are across a very large area. So when you might be able to see friendlies around you, obviously, using the reveal friendlies function allows you to see friendlies much farther away, exactly where they are in real time. This only lasts for a few seconds. Or it takes like a snapshot that'll then stay up for a few minutes. It doesn't update in real time, but it gives you the real time when you activate the ability. This is also very useful for when you're using an orbital strike, so you make sure that you're not about to nuke a lot of friendlies. You get access to the command uplink device at command rank 2. We can go into command rank and battle rank later, but the point is you squad lead, you capture bases, you get command experience points, and you actually have a separate ranking tree that gives you access to command abilities. In addition to revealing friendlies, you can also reveal enemies. Revealing enemies obviously is probably the more useful of the two, and it will show you where every enemy is nearby. You can use an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse. You all know that, you're all sci-fi nerds. And outward from you in a pretty big sphere will explode a bunch of static. It'll kill deployables or jam them. It will reset people's implants, and so on and so forth. It's a very useful tool. You usually use them right before a galaxy drop to clear the area of mines. Imagine in Planetside 2 if every time you did a galaxy drop, there was a pretty reasonable certainty that the ground would be littered with mines and turrets. You would use this to disable those so you could get inside safely. And then finally, the big one that everyone loves, the orbital strike. I think I've shown it to you in the other video. If not, I'll make sure to post some footage of it. But it's basically a giant laser that comes down from the sky and kills everything it touches. You can use one every 3 hours. If you're command rank 4 or 5. See, there's the catch. Not everyone can use them. You have to actually lead and be successful in order to get these tools. But anyway, I can carry one of those in my inventory as well. I also have 3 medical kits and a jammer grenade. The 3 medical kits, unlike in Planetside 2, where I have to get out my medkit and stab it into me in order to heal myself, medical kits you can use from basically anywhere at any time. You could be shooting someone in the face with a shotgun and then hit your F1 or whatever other key you've bound to instantly heal yourself for 25. Now, there is a 5-second delay between when you can do another one, so you can't just spam the button and instantly heal all your health again. But if you take damage, you can heal yourself, and then 5 seconds later you can heal yourself again, and then 5 seconds later you can heal yourself again, and you can do that whenever you want as long as you have medkits in your inventory. I usually carry 3. You'll also notice I have a jammer grenade. This is the same type of grenade that you use in Planetside 2. It does a little bit different things. In Planetside 2, when you throw one, it messes up your HUD, it resets your shields, it will kill deployables. In Planetside 1, it does kill or jam deployables, and you can throw it, but remember there are no shields in Planetside 1, so it will reset your implant instead. If you throw it at a vehicle, it will prevent that vehicle from firing for about 5 seconds. It will not prevent it from moving, it will not slow its speed at all, but it will prevent it from firing for 5 seconds. If you only have infantry, you can actually lock down an enemy vehicle pretty easily. If you've got a couple of people with jammer grenades or a grenade launcher loaded with jammer grenades, and then a bunch of people with rockets can kill the vehicle without really any risk at all. Even getting run over isn't that big a risk. So basically, my point in showing you this is that I have, from Planetside 2, I have a tool that was only allowed to be used by the infiltrator, a tool only allowed to be used by a medic, a tool only allowed to be used by an engineer, a tool only allowed to be used by a heavy, a weapon that can be used by several classes, and I should have had an assault rifle here, but I can put whatever weapon I want here. I can put a flamethrower, I can put a lasher or a jackhammer, I can put a sweeper, I can put a pulsar or an assault rifle or a carbine, I can put whatever weapon I want. There's also no requisite for me to even have this. I could, if I wanted to, just walk around with 2 rocket launchers. It looks kind of ridiculous on my back, but I could if I wanted to. It's completely freeform, and this actually completely defeats the class system that Planetside 2 has. This is actually, you might think, oh, that's so cool. It's not that cool. It means everyone can do everything. It's actually a large complaint that a lot of veteran players have, but I won't get into that. The point being, you can put anything you want in your inventory as long as it fits and as long as you are certed for it. So let's go over putting stuff in your inventory for actually designing your own loadout. You'll notice all of my loadouts are done, but I've had this for a long time. Just starting out, you're going to have a couple of very basic loadouts, but let's start your own loadout. So I'm going to change into, I'm going to go to the equipment terminal, I'm going to go to armor, and I'm going to actually equip an agile exosuit. This is something all of you are going to have. Some of you will decide to upgrade to your reinforced exo or rexo, but most of you will probably stick with agile for the time being because you don't have enough certs to buy everything you want. So here you've got your 1 rifle slot, your 2 pistol slots, and your basic inventory space. So you want to start filling it up. First, you're probably going to want a weapon. Many people in Planetside 1 did not carry sidearms because they're not really necessary. You can just keep stacking ammo for your primary. You can, however, if you wish, equip a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. Let's use the suppressor and the amp for now. Also, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to have a rec in every loadout, so go ahead and put that there. You don't have to have it in one of your slots. Remember that you can have it in your main inventory and then switch it into a slot very easily. General wisdom says that if you have time to use this item, then you have time to go to your inventory and switch it out instead of expecting it to be where you need it to be. Many people differ on that, it's fine. Point is, you can have it wherever you want. You can also use, let's see, you want your medical applicator. You're going to go to support and then bring out your medical applicator. But remember, your medical applicator comes with 100 preloaded. You're still going to want some extra juice. So in this particular loadout, I have put 2 refills of revive/healing fluid. Let's say you also, well, now you've got your weapons, but what about ammo? So ammo is a little bit different in Planetside 1. Many things can use the same ammo. For instance, both of the weapons that I picked, the suppressor and the amp, can use the same 9mm ammo. This one box will supply both of these with the same ammo. Obviously, when I reload it, part of it will go away. It doesn't do 50 for both. It does 50 for either or. But so I could use both of these. So I've got my pistol and I've got my rifle. Well, let's add some more ammo because you're going to need it. Your gold ammo here is for armor piercing only. This is for killing maxes and vehicles. You do not use armor piercing bullets for regular infantry play. You will get shot. Armor piercing bullets it's kind of a misnomer. It doesn't pierce the armor so much as it's armor damaging bullets. Your regular softy bullets, your white ammo, will not do anything or barely anything to vehicles or maxes. It is unlike Planetside 2, where all of your bullets will hurt a max a lot, but most of your bullets won't even touch a heavy vehicle. You can damage heavy vehicles with your small arms if you have the gold ammo loaded, which I have just loaded with X as an X-ray. You can obviously change the key bindings, but mine is X. I'm going to switch back. So now I have my rifle loaded with my regular white softy ammo. I can go out and kill things if I want. But I've still got room left in my inventory. So I'll go to support and I'll throw a few med kits in. That seems like a good idea. Note that where you position it doesn't matter, but sometimes it can make a difference between what gets dropped or what gets moved around. For instance, if you were to go equip a grenade, and I recommend having a jammer grenade in most loadouts. So if I equip the jammer grenade here and it's still got enough room, I can switch it out immediately for my pistol. However, if I were to put this here and enclose it, it's very cramped. If I right-click it, it won't automatically put my pistol here because there's no room for it. It'll actually put it in my hand and then I can put it somewhere else. If you're going to carry grenades, or you're going to carry a grenade spot, make sure at least one of the spots has an entire 3x3 block so that you can instantly switch it out whenever you want. I can also switch out the remote electronic kit, this electronic kit. Right-clicking puts it on number 1 slot. When you right-click, you have no way of switching out what's in your 3rd slot. That's just the way the game is designed. The only way that works is if you have nothing in your 3rd slot. It will fill it before it replaces what's in your number 1. You can carry any kind of grenade you want. There are only 3 types, frag, jammer, and plasma. There are no AV grenades, concussion grenades, flash grenades, none of that. These are all 3 designed to do different things. Your frag grenade is very basic. Your jammer grenade does the electronic damage I was talking about earlier. And the plasma grenade does a little bit of initial damage, but then a lot of damage over time. Imagine it catches you on fire for like 10 seconds, pretty much. These are very unpopular because they're very good, and a lot of players see them as cheap, but you're more than welcome to use as much plasma as you want. So we have our loadout with our pistol, or I should say our sidearm, our primary weapon, a medical app. If you have this certed, you may not. You've got your jammer grenades and a little bit of ammo, and for kicks, let's also put in a command uplink device. Most of you won't have this because you're not high command rank at all. So I've got my loadout. If you want to save, and this is very important, if you want to save this loadout, you have to go back here, and click Save. It'll allow you to type in a name for it. You can actually delete one of these if you wish, but you make this loadout and then you click on one of these spots and save it. I'll show you what this looks like because it's very important. So I can save it and then click here and write my own name. And then hit enter. I'm canceling because I don't want to get rid of this loadout. I can't go over every cert and every weapon with you guys because there's just too much for you to learn, but what I can do is show you the Certs system. Your certs can be accessed from one of 2 places. First, any heart building in Sanctuary, heart A, B, or C, will access your certs. And the heart shuttle is leaving. Oh, the heart shuttle's coming in. See, look how cool that animation is. That's 2003. Anyway, you've got your certification terminals here. You can also access these, and also there's the implant terminal over there. You can access both certification terminals and implant terminals in a biolab. Earlier in my other video, we went to the ITAN biolab on Sizer, a special room called the bio room in this facility, but not any of the other facilities. Not the amp station, not the tech plant, not the dropship, but only in the biolab will allow you to do this, as well as here in Sanctuary, where you always have access to it. In Planetside 2, your certifications are made pretty constantly. You get cert points for every action that grants you experience. You get certs for killing people and reviving people and repairing things, resupplying, I mean, everything. You spend between 1 and 1,000 certs for different items and abilities. You upgrade your medical tool for 10 certs, or you buy a LMG for 1,000 certs, and then that upgrade is yours forever. Some consumable things, like you can buy an implant pack, obviously, for some certs, or a charger for some certs. But generally speaking, whatever you buy, if it's an item, is yours forever. In Planetside 1, you're sort of using an exchange system. You get a certain amount of cert points. Usually when you log in for the first time, I think you have 7 total, and you can get upwards of 20 if you're max rank. If you are actually BR 40, then you have every single cert in the game unlocked. It's okay, there are very few BR 40s, not many people made it. None of you will, so you don't have to worry about that. It will take way too long, believe me. I'm only BR 38 and I played this forever. So you won't have to worry about that. You'll have between 7 and 25 cert points to spend. You can spend these points on different kinds of weapons, different kinds of armor suits, different kinds of vehicles. A note that and also support equipment, which I'll get to in a minute. The weapon system in Planetside 1 is based on like the class of weapon. The Planetside 1 weapon system is based on certing into an entire class of weapon. You don't buy one rifle like in Planetside 2. You, in fact, cert yourself for the entire class of weapons. So, for instance, Heavy Assault allows you to use all of the heavy weapons. The Lasher, the Jackhammer, the MCG, depending on which Empire you are, and also allows you to loot the weapons from an enemy corpse and use the weapon that you pick up. Anyone can loot anything in Planetside 1, but you may not be able to use it unless you're certed for the correct class of weapon. You can cert into sniping for 3 cert points, and this gives you access to the common pool bolt driver sniper rifle, as well as the heavy scout rifle, which is a semi-automatic scout rifle, for lack of a better word. The special assault system is something that we don't have in Planetside 2 at all. These are grenade launchers and rocket rifles, a flak launcher, and a radiator. These are very, as it says, special assault. The reason we don't have these in Planetside 2 is because the spam would be horrendous. Imagine if everyone had a grenade launcher. And I'm not talking about a grenade launcher tube that you can attach to your Solstice SF. I'm talking about a actual grenade launcher. 6 shots, all grenades. You can fire them very quickly. It's terrible. So you can equip these if you want. You can also equip the rocket rifle, which both fires regular rockets and also can be loaded with frag rounds to serve as a kind of flak cannon. You can actually fire flak as an infantry in Planetside 1, but only with this one weapon. You can cert into your maxes here. Each max has a different configuration and is unique. So your Comet max is the VS-AV max, much like the Falcon and the Pounder. But once you pull this, you can't go back to the equipment terminal and then change the weapon. You're actually changing the entire configuration. You have to have all of these unlocked to use them all. If you only have the Comet configuration unlocked, the only max you can pull is a double Comet max. Or I should say just a Comet max. If you only have the Quasar, you have an AI max. You've just got a single Quasar. That's it. If you've got your Starfire, that's an AA variant. You've only got basically a lock-on AA launcher on your arm, and you can't go back in and change them. You can purchase the Unimax certification, which for a discount allows you to get all 3 maxes. There are several of these types of certifications. For instance, the Light Scout packages buggies and the Mosquito and the ATVs to allow you to... I mean, they're the light vehicles. It gives you all the light vehicles for 5. It does not give you a Lightning or a Mag Rider or anything, but it will give you the basic light vehicles for your faction. As I mentioned before in the other video, the Planetside 2 model for vehicle combat is a chassis system where you pick a chassis and then you equip the chassis with whatever weapons are appropriate. So you can pull a Lightning in Planetside 2 and then throw on either a Viper or an AP Python or a HE Python or a Skyguard, and that changes the role the vehicle has. In Planetside 1, each individual vehicle is meant to have its own role already. So your Lightning is basically a Viper Lightning from Planetside 2. It has sort of these heat rounds that sort of lob very lazily towards the target. It will do armor damage, it'll do both, but it's just a light tank. Your Mag Rider and Vanguard and Prowler are the same way, but you can't change the gun. It's just one cannon that you have, plus a secondary weapon, like a... basically amounts to like a basilisk, and you can't change that. It's just there. The aircraft are slightly different as well. So in Planetside 2, we have the Valkyrie, the Galaxy, your ESF, the Liberator. All of these in Planetside 1 are divided by the type of aircraft they are and sort of their role. So you've got Air Cavalry Scout, which is the initial Air Cavalry certification. This unlocks the base Mosquito, and it's basically a Mosquito with a basic chain gun like a Saron or a Needler. That's all you get. It's just the Mosquito with the basic chain gun. Your Air Cavalry Assault is basically a Reaver with rocket pods and sort of like a Basilisk type weapon. It's meant for air to ground. And then you've got your Interceptor, which is the Wasp, which is imagine an ESF in Planetside 2 with your air-to-air missiles and your rotary. So what I'm saying is that all 3 of these vehicles are the same vehicle in Planetside 2. It's just your ESF, and you load it out with whatever you want. In Planetside 1, there are 3 distinct vehicles, and you have to cert into each one if you want them. Armored Assault 1 allows you to get the Lightning. Armored Assault 2 allows you to get the MBT, which is your Vanguard, your Prowler, your Mag Rider. You can't use the BFR stuff right now, so I won't explain it. I don't think you can use the Flail. Maybe you can, but the Flail is just an artillery piece. That's advanced gameplay. I'm not going to get into it. The Galaxy Gunship, which you have to get air support for first. Air support is all of the support aircraft. It's your galaxy and your lodestar. Your galaxy is just like in Planetside 2. It's a big dropship. You can get into it with 12 people. In Planetside 1, however, you can also put a light vehicle into the back. And you can carry only 2 maxes and only in 2 very specific max spots. In Planetside 2, you could load the entire galaxy with maxes, except for the driver. Not so in Planetside 1. Additionally, you can cert into the Galaxy Gunship cert. And I will mention that the default Galaxy has sort of like basic Basilisk type or Walker type weapons, but the Galaxy Gunship has the heavy weapons. The Galaxy Gunship has the mortars and the heavy chain guns, but at a price of less people inside. I think it can only carry 6 and no vehicle. You've got ground transport, which is your Sunderer and your Deliverer. The Deliverer is just like a 6-man. It's basically a Valkyrie that can drive and float. The Sunderer is pretty much the same, but remember that the Sunderer and the AMS are 2 different vehicles. You need ground support to give you the AMS. It's this truck with an equipment terminal on the back. You can drive it around and deploy it. You deploy it. It has a cloaking bubble, which is very nice. A lot of people have asked for that in Planetside 2. Whereas the Sunderer is very much just a battle bus. The Leviathan, they're not called Sunderers anymore. You have the Leviathan, the Vindicator, and I forget the Juggernaut. The Leviathan, the Vindicator, and the Juggernaut. And those are, just imagine a Sunderer kitted out with like a Sunderer with 2 PPAs and 2 Cobalts, or a Sunderer with 4 Cobalts, or a Sunderer with 2 Basilisks and 2 Cobalts. Like the idea is you've got a lot of different weapons on these things, and you've got a shield breaker module installed by default. So that this is one vehicle, as opposed to in Planetside 2, you can just take, or what I should say is these are several vehicles. In Planetside 2, you take one vehicle and just change it how you want it. You've got the Harasser. The Phantasm is a cloaked 5-man dropship. Imagine a Valkyrie with a cloaking module. And then you've got your Switchblade is just like a ATV with a big laser thing on it. It's a core combat thing. You won't see any of these probably. And then finally, you've got your buggies. You've got, in Planetside 2, your Skyguard is a Lightning with a flak cannon attachment. In Planetside 1, they have a very large emphasis on driver-gunner relationships. Most of the time, the person driving the vehicle is not also gunning. For the Prowler, you actually have 2 gunners. You've got your main cannon gunner, and then you've got your Basilisk gunner on top. For the Vanguard, you have 1 driver, and then the gunner controls both of the weapons. Same thing for the Galaxies, obviously. The Liberator does have a front gun. The Mosquito and the Reaver, they still have front guns. The Lightning is a 1-man. The Sunderer has no weapons that the driver can use. The Deliverer has no weapons the driver can use. None of the buggies have any weapons the driver can use, much like the Harasser in Planetside 2. So all these things are different that you'll need to learn. Finally, we have the support tree, and this is more complicated because this is something we don't have anything like in Planetside 2. So this is why we don't have classes in Planetside 1. All of these things can be learned by everybody. One person can use the engineer deployable and make a turret, or can use an engineer tool and repair someone, or can use a hacking terminal like an infiltrator, or can use a medical tool like a medic. The possibilities are pretty stunning. One person can support everyone. Again, remember, there is no such thing as an ammo pack, but there are and you can't deploy a mana turret inside. You can deploy like a bigger turret outside, and you can deploy automated turrets outside. You can deploy mines and like C4, but not everyone can use C4. Or like it's not the same. You don't just throw it on the ground and explode it. What you have to do actually is use one of these. This is an ace. You can change this. This one thing can do 20 different things. So right now it's basically a C4 brick. I can place, well, I can't place it here. I can go out and place it. It'll put down a boomer, and then I can retreat behind it and blow it up with a trigger. I can put down a tank mine. I can put down a Spitfire turret. I can put down a motion sensor. I can put down a motion disruptor. I can put down a lot of different stuff with this one item. Anybody can, as long as you have the engineering or combat engineering certification and any additional certifications you need, you can use this for any deployable that you want. We're also going to go over implants shortly. So this is the implant terminal. You get an implant slot on your character at battle rank 6, 12, and 18. You can use 3 implants at a time. There is no implant energy like in Planetside 2. However, the implants do run off of your stamina bar. Your stamina bar is down here at the bottom left. It's the little lightning bolt with the teal. This controls your jumping. Obviously, you jump and 10 energy is gone. You can regenerate this energy by just standing or crouching. It does go faster when you crouch. So, for instance, I have currently on my person, I have enhanced targeting, surge, and regeneration. Enhanced targeting is passive. There are a couple implants that are passive that you don't require energy for, but also that won't work if you don't have enough energy. There's like a threshold. So my enhanced targeting implant is working, and it will continue to work unless I get down to 0 energy. If for whatever reason I get shot a bunch or I jump a lot and I'm out of energy, it'll shut off. And it'll stay off until I accumulate at least 20 energy. I'm going to activate my surge implant. That sort of sound you heard. Now I'm running a lot faster. You'll notice that my feet are glowing. This lets everyone know that I'm using surge. I notice that my energy is draining. I'm going to actually let it drain all the way to show you what happens when you run out of energy. There are like I think 7 or 8 different implants. We'll show you in a moment that you can use, including the Planetside 2 type implants like regeneration. Obviously, you've got sensor shield. We have surge. We've got enhanced targeting. There are several things I'm going to show you. So now I'm out of energy. You notice that I'm panting very heavily. My character is. And notice that as I'm moving, I'm not regaining any energy, so I have to just crouch or stand still for a moment. Notice all of my implants are off, cannot be targeted. They're grayed out, or cannot be activated. But I reached 20. I'm at 20 energy now, which is the threshold you need for everything. I can activate my enhanced targeting implant, so that's on again. And I can use my others if I need to. I can't turn on my regeneration implant because I'm at full health already. So, to use your implants, once you have an implant slot or 2, you can go to this big tube thing and step into it. And this shows you all of your options. So you have what I've mentioned already, the enhanced targeting, which shows you the health of enemy characters. It also reveals the name of people and vehicles. You got your regeneration, which allows you to expend this energy for health. You've got surge, which lets you go fast at the expense of using your stamina. You've also got audio amplifier, which boosts your character's radar abilities. Because it's sound-based, basically what happens is you hear people from farther away. Because you hear them, they appear on your minimap. So, you know, when you hear the footsteps of that Max in Planetside 2 and you know he's right around the corner, in Planetside 1, you'll actually be able to see his dot on the map because you hear him. You have Dark Light, which allows you to... I'm probably just going to have to show you these. Dark Light, I'll show you in a minute once it charges. You've got Melee Booster, which you can turn on to make your knife really, really powerful. Personal Shield, which turns all this energy basically into an overshield. But remember, if you flip this on and then all of your shield is gone, that means all of your energy is gone, and that means you're panting and you can't jump and you can't run. So use this at your peril. Range Magnifier simply allows you to, since you can't, there's no aim down sights, so you can't equip a different scope. What you can do is you can equip Range Magnifier and basically be able to zoom in much farther. Regeneration we've already covered. Second Wind is just what it says. If you take enough damage, the implant will activate and then give you more health. It'll give you, and stamina, it'll boost it back up, and then, but it has to recharge again before you can use it. And then finally a Sensor Shield, which is just like in Planetside 2, it prevents you from showing up on radar and such. Okay, so my Dark Light vision just turned on. I'm going to show you what it does. In Planetside 2, the only way to see a cloaker obviously you can see the outline and stuff, but if you want to really see them, you have to use a flashlight attached to one of your weapons. Planetside 1 does not have this kind of system, so to see cloakers, and again, you can see their outline pretty easily when they're running, but if they're cloaked in a corner somewhere, you're not going to be able to find them. So you activate your dark light implant. It drastically reduces your vision range, but if there were any cloakers here, they would be showing up in bright yellow. This is how you can search for cloakers. Especially important because in Planetside 2, you sort of have to run around with a flashlight in every corner. This way, you can actually see an entire room. But again, your view distance is very, very low. Someone could be hiding pretty much across the room, and I couldn't see them until I got a little bit closer. And you activate these using your F keys that are on your toolbar. Guys, that's all I've got for certs and equipment and implants. I'm sure a lot of you are going to have questions. I will try to answer as many as I can. If you just there's probably going to be a Reddit post about this, so I'll try and answer them there. I'm sure there's going to be like an instructional stream or like a learn the game event before the big event at the end of November. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Like I said, I've played this game for 6 years. I know most everything about it, as do a lot of other veterans in the community. So feel free to ask us. And I hope to see you at the event at the end of November. This is Robo signing off. Thank you for joining.